Prime Minister Narendra Modi meets Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe on the sidelines of the ASEAN summit in Bangkok. The leaders discussed ways to enhance bilateral ties. Prime Minister to take part in the 14th East Asia Summit and participate in the RCEP meeting later today. Pollution situation remains grim in the national capital and NCR as the air quality index touches the unbreathable mark at many places. Delhi government's odd-even road scheme begins. Union Minister for Environment, Forest and Climate Change Prakash Javadekar said pollution has created problems for people. Criticizes Delhi government for spending 1,500 crore rupees on advertisements instead of providing monetary support to farmers. And in sports, India's Lakshya Sen backs his second successive BWF World Tour Super 100 title, overcomes China's Wang Hongyang in an exciting final at the Saarlorlux Open in Germany. Good afternoon. Headlines at 12:30. I'm Anil Thomas. Now for the stories in detail. On the third day of his Thailand visit, Prime Minister Narendra Modi met Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe on the sidelines of the ASEAN 2019 in Bangkok. Both sides held good discussions on preparing the grounds for the India-Japan 2+2 dialogue and annual summit later this year. Both the leaders agreed that dialogue will help provide impetus to the bilateral security and defense cooperation between the two sides. Prime Minister Narendra Modi attended a special lunch session on sustainable development hosted by Thailand. Issues related to climate change, poverty alleviation and clean energy were discussed at the lunch. Leaders from 10 ASEAN nations and 6 invited members were present at the lunch. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will participate in the East Asian RCEP summit in Bangkok today. These will be his last engagement before he flies back home and probably the last meeting, but the most awaited one too. RCEP will be a game-changer deal if it happens, but India has quite rightly so raised its concerns and demanded that any deal that goes through should be beneficial to all and not heavily loaded in anyone's favor. Besides, he will also hold meetings with the Vietnam Prime Minister and Australian Prime Minister in Bangkok.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi is all set to steer India's negotiations at the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership or the RCEP. RCEP is a comprehensive free trade agreement being negotiated between the 10 ASEAN member states and ASEAN's free trade agreement partners, that is Australia, China, India, Japan, Korea and New Zealand. Prime Minister Narendra Modi sought to dispel the notion that India is as reluctant to join the RCEP trade deal. In a detailed interview to a Thailand daily, he said, India remains committed to a comprehensive and balanced outcome from the ongoing RCEP negotiations, but India would like a win-win outcome. He added that addressing India's concerns over unsustainable trade deficits is important. India made it clear that opening of its vast market must be matched by openings in some areas where Indian businesses can also benefit. Overall, Prime Minister Modi stressed that a mutually beneficial RCEP in which all sides gain reasonably is in interest of India and of all partners in the negotiation.
We believe that RCEP represents a significant economic and trade opportunity for all partners. There are obviously some critical issues still outstanding and efforts are being made to resolve them to provide a fair and a transparent trading environment. These issues are extremely important for our economy and the livelihood of our people. It is therefore imperative that these issues are resolved satisfactorily. India remains engaged to find a resolution of these issues.
RCEP negotiations, which began in Cambodia in 2012, cover areas including trade in goods and services, investment, market access, economic cooperation, intellectual property and e-commerce. Ravi Dhiman's report, DD News, Bangkok.
Back home, in his address at the 26th convocation of the Northeastern Hill University, Shillong, President Ramnath Kovind appealed to students to fulfill their social responsibility and help underprivileged students in actualizing their dreams.
Higher education is a privilege not available to a lot of people in our country. I appeal to all of you to help improve the condition of such underprivileged fellow citizens. I also urge upon you to give back to the society in whatever way you can.
President said that institutions of higher learning can prove to be instrumental in the development of any region. He called upon the Northeastern Hill University to help Meghalaya and the Northeast in the socio-economic transformation.
Institutions of higher education like NEHU can also be instruments of social and economic transformation. The university can help Meghalaya in achieving better ranking on human development indices. More than 80% population of Meghalaya is dependent on agriculture. By helping improve agricultural productivity, NEHU can play a catalytic role in promoting socio-economic development of Meghalaya and the Northeast.
Earlier at the inaugural session of the ICC Sustainable Conclave 2019, Union Minister for Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Prakash Javadekar, highlighted the reduction in cracker bursting, saying that this has only been possible because of people's self-regulation.
इस बार जैसे फायर क्रैकर के विरोध में कितने भी सख्ती के नियम कोर्ट करे या कानून करे या सरकार करे, सेल्फ रेगुलेशन केवल दिल्ली में नहीं, देश भर के बच्चों ने इस बार एक प्रण सा कर दिया और देश भर में लगभग कंजम्पशन 75% ड्रॉप हुआ। ये एक बहुत बड़ी सफलता है। दिस इज द रिजल्ट ऑफ सेल्फ रेगुलेशन। आप अंदर से बदलते हैं।
Meanwhile, Principal Secretary to the Prime Minister, Dr. PK Mishra, held a high-level meeting on Sunday evening with the states of Punjab, Haryana and Delhi to tackle air pollution. The meeting comes in at the wake of the increasing air pollution levels, leading to an emergency-like situation in the national capital region. The meeting reviewed the situation arising out of stubble burning, construction activities, burning of waste, industrial and vehicular pollution. It has been decided that the Cabinet Secretary Rajiv Gauba will monitor the situation with these states on a daily basis. State Chief Secretaries have been asked to monitor the situation in the districts on a 24/7 basis. The centre has also asked the neighbouring states to reduce fire incidents and dust levels due to adverse meteorological conditions in the last 3 days. Chief Secretaries of the states have been provided details about the actions being taken by them to improve the situation, and about 300 teams have been deployed in the field in the national capital to tackle the challenge of air pollution. Main focus is on 7 industrial clusters and major traffic corridors in the national capital region. Similar arrangements have also been made by Punjab and Haryana, and necessary machinery has been provided in the state. The meeting is in continuation of the meeting held by the Principal Secretary to Prime Minister on 24th of October. The states had assured that necessary measures will be put in place at the earliest. Union Minister Prakash Javadekar has said that air pollution is a serious problem directly affecting people. He also criticized the Delhi government for spending 1,500 crore rupees on advertisements instead of providing money to farmers.
Pollution ये जनता को तकलीफ देने वाली एक सही समस्या है। सीपीसीबी ने जितने आदेश दिए हैं, दिल्ली सरकार वो देखे और उसमें से कितने का पालन किया है ये बताए। और वो कह रहे हैं कि और मशीन क्यों नहीं दे रहे, 22 लाख किसान हैं तो 40,000 मशीन क्यों दे रहे। तो हमने तो 1100 करोड़ दिए, ये 1500 करोड़ रुपए एडवर्टीजमेंट में बेकार करने के बजाय दिल्ली सरकार दिल्ली का प्रदूषण कम होने के लिए 1500 करोड़ किसानों को क्यों नहीं देती।
He added that responsible care can only give responsible freedom, which will help in building a systematic mechanism for the country to perform action.
रिस्पॉन्सिबल फ्रीडम देने के लिए भी हम तैयार है। उसके लिए रिस्पॉन्सिबल केयर और एक सेल्फ रेगुलेटरी मैकेनिज्म इंस्टीट्यूशन बिल्डिंग के तरीके से तैयार करना चाहिए, क्योंकि उसके बिना देश तरक्की नहीं करता। जैसे आज प्लास्टिक में देख रहा है, प्लास्टिक कलेक्ट नहीं किया जाता और उसका रिसाइकल के लिए, रीयूज के लिए नहीं जाता, ये प्रश्न है।
Besides, Centre is making continuous efforts to deal with air pollution problem. Union Minister Prakash Javadekar listed some of the steps taken by the government, which include all the state agencies and people need to participate in this effort to combat air pollution. 300+ kilometer metro rail network is providing environment friendly public transport to more than 50 lakh people. 60,000 undestined heavy truck duties which were polluting Delhi traffic to some great extent have been stopped passing through Delhi due to the eastern and western peripheral expressway. The government has closed the Badapur power plant and introduced 24/7 monitoring of all polluting industry, converted nearly 3,000 industries of PNG instead of fossil fuel, and nearly 3,000 brick kilns have been converted to zigzag technology. The minister at the end appealed to all agencies to work closer or together in combating air pollution and to give relief to the people. Meanwhile, pollution levels in Delhi NCR and nearby areas continue to remain high, with the air quality bordering severe plus category at several places. The air pollution has come down a bit from Sunday's unbreathable levels of 1,000. Cities most affected include the national capital, NCR cities of Noida, Ghaziabad, Greater Noida, Faridabad and Gurugram. A public health emergency has already been enforced in the region. All schools have been shut in Delhi and NCR till Tuesday. 37 flights were diverted from Delhi airport due to low visibility caused by pollution on Sunday. Delhi is pinning hopes on meteorological relief, with the weathermen saying winds gusting up to 20 to 25 kilometers per hour are likely to prevail in the region. In Punjab, a total of 25,314 cases of stubble burning were registered this season till November 3rd. Similarly, in Haryana, 4,341 cases were registered till November 2nd. Even though there is much hue and cry about the situation, with all the stakeholders making efforts to deal with air pollution, farmers across the two states continue to burn stubble, in wake of which the thick blanket of clouds across the states does not seem to go away so soon, leaving people suffocated. Meanwhile, the third edition of the odd-even scheme comes into force in the national capital came into force in the national capital today to tackle the severe air pollution in the city. The scheme restrictions will be applicable from 8 a.m. in the morning till 8 p.m. in the night and will continue till November 15th. It will, however, not be applicable on two-wheelers, vehicles being used for medical emergencies, vehicles being driven by women, and vehicles carrying school children and electric vehicles. As many as 2,000 additional buses will be deployed during the period, and to cater to the commuters, all cluster buses will also be deployed along with the entire fleet of DTC buses. Further, to help people, nearly 200 teams of the Delhi Traffic Police have been deployed to ensure rules are being followed, and around 5,000 civil defense volunteers are working to raise awareness on pollution. As they say, prevention is better than cure. Let's take a look at this report on the do's and don'ts in this situation.
The national capital Delhi has hit the severe mark in air quality index again. Every year the city faces severe levels of smog and pollution after Diwali, and as a result the air quality gets awfully deteriorated. The toxic levels of air pollution is directly affecting our respiratory system, putting people at a higher risk for asthma and lung inflammation. Adding to the severity, the changing weather conditions have locked the pollutants in the air and made the situation worse in and around Delhi. Doctors are warning people of dire consequences and discouraging them from stepping outdoors, while Supreme Court has declared a public health emergency in Delhi NCR region. But what are the reasons behind this soaring pollution? Growing population, huge rise of vehicles, aggravating traffic congestion and increasing air and noise pollution. And as the winter season sets in, dust particles and pollutants in the air become unable to move. Due to the stagnant winds, these pollutants get locked in the air and affect weather conditions, resulting in smog and haze. The various health effects of air pollutants include breathlessness, chest congestion, irritation in eyes, asthma and allergy. The alarming situation makes it necessary to take precautionary measures to stay safe and avoid any kind of long-term problems. Health experts have advised the residents of Delhi NCR to wear masks and stay indoors, especially when the pollution levels are high. Here's a list of do and don'ts to help survive this hazard. Stay indoors as much as possible. Wear a mask whenever you go out and wear the right mask with respirators. Place air purifying plants like tulsi, spider plant, aloe vera in homes and offices to increase indoor air quality. Stay hydrated. Drink more water to flush out toxins and harmful particles from body. Start carpooling public transport to reduce number of vehicles plying on the road. Follow a diet rich in antioxidants, nutrients to detoxify and improve immunity. Foods such as fatty fish, pineapple, kiwi, onion and pepper help as natural anti-allergics. Avoid smoking. Keep proper check on pollution of vehicles. Avoid outdoor activities, physical exercise in morning. Do not burn garbage, plastic or any other discarded items. Avoid using the bigger roads with more traffic. Avoid going to areas with heavy smoke or dust. The alarming levels of air pollution will last only for a few days, but may lead to serious and long-term health problems. However, it is important to take proper precautions. It is the duty of every citizen to come together and do our own bit to control the pollution, rather contributing more. Bureau Report, DD News.
Meanwhile, in Jammu and Kashmir, all the Darbar Move offices, including the Civil Secretariat and the Lieutenant Governor's office, started their functioning from Jammu today. Lieutenant Governor Girish Chandra Murmu was accorded the Guard of Honor after the opening of Secretariat at the winter capital in Jammu. Earlier, the Divisional Commissioner and IGP Jammu met the Lieutenant Governor GC Murmu at the Raj Bhavan and briefed him about the arrangements being put in place for the functioning of the Move officers and the law and order scenario in Jammu Division. Under Darbar Move, the government of Jammu and Kashmir functions for 6 months each in Srinagar and Jammu. Well, moving to international stories, Iranian leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei has reiterated that it will not lift its ban on talks with the United States. He also described the two countries as implacable foes on the eve of the 40th anniversary of the seizure of the US Embassy in Tehran. Relations between the two foes have reached a crisis over the past year after US President Donald Trump abandoned a 2015 pact between Iran and world powers under which Tehran accepted curbs to its nuclear program in return for lifting sanctions. Washington has reimposed sanctions aimed at halting all Iranian oil exports, saying it seeks to force Iran to negotiate to reach a wider deal. Ayatollah has banned Iranian officials from holding such talks unless the United States returns to the nuclear deal and lifts all sanctions. Iraqi protesters remained on the streets of Baghdad on Sunday, demanding the fall of the political elite in the biggest wave of mass demonstrations since the fall of Saddam Hussein. Driven by discontent over economic hardships and corruption, the protests have broken nearly 2 years of relative stability in Iraq and killed more than 250 people in October. The demonstrators want to end the post-2003 political order, which they see as corrupt and which has failed to deliver basic services. Prime Minister Abdul Mahdi has promised reforms and has a broad cabinet reshuffle, but that has so far failed to appease the protesters. Hong Kong's anti-government protesters crowded shopping malls in running clashes with police on Sunday, with several suffering wounds a day after parts of the Chinese-ruled city became a battleground after 5 months of unrest. The protest, which began with a human chain, ended in a brutal fight where the pro-democracy politician was among the victims of a brutal attack. The violence on Sunday followed demonstrations a day earlier in which tens of thousands of people took to the streets, while police fired tear gas and water cannons in an effort to disperse the crowds. The month-long movement was sparked by an extradition bill that would have allowed people in this semi-autonomous Chinese city to be tried in mainland China's more opaque legal system. The government withdrew the bill last month as demonstrations became more and more violent, though the movement has snowballed into a call for greater democracy and freedom. Saudi Arabia officially launched its initial public offering for the state-owned oil company Saudi Aramco on Sunday, announcing that a domestic listing will happen in December. The company said the final offer price, number of shares to be sold and the percentage of the shares to be sold will be determined at the end of the book building period. Aramco's chairman has meanwhile assured that the company was a safe bet for investors despite some concerns over the security of Saudi oil infrastructure following a drone and missile attack on Aramco's facilities in September. With even individual home buyers taking builders to bankruptcy court, real estate developers from Delhi NCR are demanding that all consumer complaints first be heard by Regulator RERA before the insolvency proceedings are initiated. According to the Regulator's apex body, CREDAI, about 450 real estate companies' projects across the country are facing insolvency proceedings under the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code because of the default in the delivery of projects to home buyers as well as repayment of bank loans. On sports, India's Lakshya Sen backed his second successive BWF World Tour Super 100 title with a thrilling win over China's Wang Hongyang in an exciting final at the Saarloorlux Open. Lakshya seeded 8th overcame Wang 17-21, 21-80, 21-16 in the summit clash for his third successive singles title of the season. He had clinched the Belgium International Challenge and the Dutch Open Super Tour 100 in the last two outings. He had also reached the final of the Polish Open this year. World number 1 tennis player Novak Djokovic off Canadian Denis Shapovalov 6-3, 6-4 to win his 5th Paris Masters title on Sunday in a warning to his rivals ahead of the ATP finals. The Serbian faced only one break point in another impressive display to claim a 34th career Masters title against world number 28 Shapovalov, who was playing his first final at that level. Shapovalov gave his opponent a decisive 4-3 lead in the second set, and Djokovic then held serve throughout to snatch a morale-boosting victory ahead of the November 10-17 ATP Tour finals in London, where he will be looking to secure the year-end world number 1 spot.
It was a great tournament for me. I haven't dropped a set. I played really well, especially in the last three matches. I thought as the tournament progresses, I'm feeling more comfortable, more confident on the court, playing better. Yes, I mean, I've been feeling great, as I said, very confident throughout the entire week, especially in the last 3 days. I mean, that gives me a lot of encouragement coming into the World Tour finals in London. You know, I have a week now to rest, get ready, and hopefully have another great tournament there.
As unfortunate as it might be, it is not rare to see young children begging on our streets. We pity them, sometimes give them money or food. But how often do we take it upon ourselves to educate these children towards a better future? A woman in Haldwani is doing just that, and this is her story.
A woman in Haldwani who pledges to transform the destiny of poor children around her. Children who till recently would beg on the streets today have a reason to smile. Social worker Gunjan Bisht has worked hard to support children from the street, nurture them, provide them with primary education. Around 150 children have benefited from Gunjan's efforts till date. She also helped many of them get admission to government school and pursue formal education. Gunjan continues with her mission of taking young children in need to her study center.
यहाँ भीख मांगने वाले और कूड़ा बीनने वाले वंचित बच्चे पढ़ते हैं और जितने भी मार्केट के अंदर मलिन बस्तियों के जो गरीब हैं और जिनके माता पिता नहीं है और जिनके जो असहाय हैं, इस तरीके से सारे जितने भी बच्चे हैं जो आज से कई साल पहले भिक्षावृत्ति में लिप्त थे, नशे में लिप्त थे, श्रम में लिप्त थे, ये सारे बच्चे हमारी वीरांगना सेंटर में पढ़ते हैं।
Gunjan started an organization, Virangana or Brave Woman, and dedicated herself to the cause of educating and empowering young children. She hopes one day no child in Haldwani and Nainital will have to beg to make a living.
पहले मैं सड़कों पर भीख मांगती थी, कूड़ा बीनने का काम करती थी। फिर गुंजन दीदी ने जब मुझे देखा तो पूछा कि मैं भीख क्यों मांगती हूँ और मुझे अपने सेंटर में लेकर आई। आज मैं सरकारी स्कूल में पढ़ रही हूँ। इस सेंटर में सिर्फ पढ़ाई नहीं होती, हमें अच्छा खाना भी खाने को मिलता है, अच्छे कपड़े पहनने को मिलते हैं ताकि हम ढंग से रह सकें और ढंग से पढ़ाई कर सकें।
Taking note of Gunjan's achievements, today many individuals and groups from civil society have come forward to help Gunjan. Looking at these youngsters busy studying, one realizes how Gunjan's efforts have truly transformed their future. Girish Tripathi's report for DD News, Haldwani.
Well, that's all we have time for in this edition for news. But for all regular news and updates, you can track us on Twitter and also on YouTube. Thanks for watching. Namaskar.